this is Cronin, and I'm going to teach you how to speedrun Metallic Madness for Sonic CD 2011 version as Sonic. Alright, so let's look at the map, and you're going to start about here, down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the middle route here, so we're going to go this way. So there's a lot of stuff down here, and here, that we don't want to deal with too much. We could also take the upper route, but it's also a little slow. You could technically take it, you know, all the way over here, but there's just so many obstacles in the way. There's these spinners, there's enemies here and here, and they're pretty annoying to deal with. You got this whole business. It's just not ratted out. It might be decent, but there's also another advantage of this route right here, and that's that not only there's nothing there, there's so much more flat ground, and it doesn't look like it, but this is actually one of the longest straightaways in the whole game. It's about comparable to the Untitled Tempest 1 straightaway, and Untitled Tempest 2 straightaway. Anyway, so we're going to go through here, and we're going to go down here to the end. It's very simple. So let's look at the video. So you're going to peel out here, you're going to jump before the slope ends, and you're going to land on this spring here. Now, when you go up, you're going to hold right, and here's a visual cue. You see this red square in the back? This is basically, you're basically already over the floor that you need to be on, but you don't want to hold right the whole time. You actually want to slow down a little bit, or air brake. So, you see, you'll land here. And the reason why is because you need to jump on the left part of this yellow spring to get the better movement over these red springs coming up. Because if you hold right to the very edge, you are probably going to, well, I'll show you where it'll be. But if you do this right, you'll clear all three. If you do it wrong, you're going to land probably here. You're just going to push against the wall and be slow and land here. And if you're still holding right, you're going to hit this spring. Whereas if you take it carefully and hit the left side of the spring and then hold right, you'll go over all three. It's much smoother and faster. You won't have to stop. The only problem is getting that jump at the beginning is just a little tricky for a beginner. It is similar to the Collision Chaos 1 red spring jump. And anyway, so you're going to keep on going here. You're going to jump over this pass sign in the enemy. Here, as long as you're going at a fast enough pace, it's going to be the top blades which will spin by the time you get across. As a beginner, you will probably just want a damage boost through this. You're probably going to get her slower. Maybe not, maybe so. You can just wait to see which one is moving, but the thing is, it switches between the two spinners pretty quickly. Actually, let me go back just a little bit, because there's another specific jump here. So, you want to be on the right side of these rings here to do the next jump. And you're still holding right, by the way. So, remember, the right side of these springs, not the center or the left. I mean, that's almost fine, but you want to be on the right side. You don't want to be over here. You want to be, like, right about here when you do the jump. So jump, and you'll jump and land on that spring just perfectly. See, if you're a little sooner, you'll hit the spikes. You can hit the spikes and actually fall and land here, and that's a good way to set up a peel out, but it's actually kind of precise, and it's not even that much faster. But the problem is if you are too far left, you're going to just fall back down, and then you have to wait for the unicycle spring to move back in position, because getting this jump is easiest actually doing that jump setup. If you have to wait for it, you're more likely to just hit the spikes and fall down, because its position is only here where it needs to be for a very short time. It will just move back left. Anyway, so you go here, And there's two ways of doing this first part here, right after these saw blades. I'm going to show you the faster way on the video first, and then I'm going to do it on in-game to show you the easier beginner's method. So here you can start a peel out as soon as you slow down, and there's two saw blades. So what you want to do is jump right after the next saw blade, and then you're going to jump. You're gonna like land on a platform, fall, and then jump almost immediately, but at a specific place, which I'll point out. So this is totally practice. There's no visual cues. It'll happen very quickly. So you'll jump there, you'll land there, and that happened really quickly. It'll just set you up like that. And then you'll land here, and what you want to do is jump off the down slope here while still holding right. And that will actually give you a boost, and you'll keep on moving right. And there's going to be this course way. You won't have to worry about this spinner, you'll just go right past it. Now you'll jump basically here on about 2 dots before this ledge, and then you're going to jump when you land on this piston. You might dead stop here, and you're going to want to make that kind of movement. You want to jump and then you'll hit this speed choose. Problem: if you keep on moving with the past power, you're going to activate it. You need to stop. Unfortunately, you have to stop here. And here I do this just so get a little bit more momentum to clear these next couple of springs. And the reason why you don't want to go to the pass is the level layout would change drastically. So you jump over that, you want to slow down again. And there's another way of doing this. You can like roll, but you'll like hit the spring if you just keep on going, and it won't actually help you too much. So you want to slow down, just jump over it, and if you hit that ceiling there, you're going to pass this spring and then just keep on moving right. But if you hit that spring on the floor, you're going to end up hitting that unicycle spring. And by the way, I'll show it in the map, but if you time travel, you can't get here. This area is not in the past. You have to hit that spring, go up and around to the top route, which I showed. Also, there's also the potential, if you go through that whole area perfectly fine, and you can also time travel here. If you time travel in this area, it's a soft lock, which means that you cannot continue the level. You have to reset the level, and that's pretty much run over. You'll just get stuck within the walls here. There's no way out. So anyway, pretty simple. If you actually get stuck here, you can just jump on the springs, take some damage, and jump out, or you can go jump to this left side of the semicircle and then jump out right. There's going to be a platform that comes here. It's a kind of a long cycle, which is why you want to get here pretty quickly so that you just fall through. And then here, you just jump over. You can also spin dash jump over. Problem: if you spin dash jump over or peel out jump over, you want to slow down before you get here, because the piston will crush you. You will get to the piston, which is what I call these blocks, as it's moving down, but before it can stop you, before it's down enough to stop you, you'll just get crushed instantly. So here you just wait, and you wait, like you can move basically at this position, so you can spin dash a little early. It helps to just know that. You'll just fall, and you got several options here. You can just hold right. You should still have speed choose. You can spin dash and jump out, or you can peel out. It's up to you. And a good time for this stage is like 23 seconds down to like 20 seconds. Those are really good times, but you're looking for anything sub 30, maybe like 27. Okay, so let's just look at the map for the pass stage real quick. Okay, this is actually the stage here. Okay, so this is, you recognize this part, right? Here's the pistons, here's the springs, everything's the same. Oh wait, yeah, you can't go here, and you can't go down either. There's just no way. This whole path is a dead end. It's just for the generator. So you have to take this spring up, around, and top route, and then you have to fall down this way. So it's just a huge detour, whereas in present you just go like that. And also, if, like I said, if you time travel here, you're gonna get stuck in one of these like blue areas. You might be able to jump up, but you won't be able to go left or right out. There's just nothing you can do. Okay. Okay. So let me play the stage now. So another way you can do this is you just go through and you can you'll have to roll under those. You can't just run through. You'll have to roll, which is kind of slow. But what you want to do is you want to go here and then jump off the edge of that. And then what will happen is that you'll bounce off that enemy, and then you'll land here. You do not want to be captured by this enemy, because what it'll do is it'll grab you, and it's going to just, you have one chance once it releases you to jump out, but then it'll just keep on moving left until it brings you to this spring, and then it destroys itself using the spring. It's pretty bad. So you just want to make sure that you jump off the very edge of this. That way you'll just bounce off it very simply. So this is what happens when you just hold right. And here is this platform, and let's see if I can get this. Okay, I think I lost a cycle. Yeah. But basically it'll just crush you. Also, if for whatever reason you're up here, that will also happen. This basically the same thing happens when you take that from below. So I'm just gonna load up the next stage here. Alright. Okay, now let's look at stage number 2, Act 2. Okay, now we're gonna do a significant shortcut for this stage in the speedrun. This is one that you have to learn, because doing this stage normally is a huge pain, and it's just very, very slow. And we're talking minutes slow. It's something you have to learn. Fortunately, it's really not hard at all. It's just really easy. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we started here, and we're just gonna go straight up. Sorry, we're gonna go straight up here, and then we're gonna go either this way or this way, and then we're gonna go up, and then like CC2, we're gonna get up here on the ceiling. We're just gonna follow that path all the way over to this side, and we're going to need to take one of these pistons to be launched up. And there's two ways of doing that, which I'll explain. And this is going to be the most difficult part of this stage. You're going to want to use that to go up to here and take this upper route. And this is a thing that only happens in this version of the game. In 93, if you try to get on the ceiling here, you won't be able to hit the flag, but in 2011, you will. So we're just going to go up here. The normal route would involve you going like down here and doing all this stuff, and you'd go around, and then you're like, oh, I guess I'll go this way, and then you have to take this thing, which you have to wait for to make it up on this ledge. It's just, you can't even like peel out off of that. You can't, there's no way. You have to use this walker, and then you have to do the mini Sonic section. This whole stuff. And it's not really that long, but then there's another part. You have to wait for these crushing ceilings, floors to get up to here. So that versus just going like that, it's kind of obvious what the difference is, which one's better. So let's look at how this level plays. Okay, that's just a score clear. Let's get past that real quick. Okay, so here, when you get to these pistons, you have several options. You're going to be waiting just for a little bit. What I do half the time is just jump where the rings are and then land here. You can also just jump onto the yellow spring and bounce up here, or jump onto this piston and get here. But then you just want to wait for this to get basically just short of, like a half tile short of the top of the, where the piston will be to make this jump. And you just jump again. Now, what is optimal here is you'll hit the left wall and then start moving right when you get to the spring. That way you'll bonk this little tile here. Otherwise you're going to go all the way up, and it's just, this is going to be much faster by like a few seconds. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go around like an eighth or a quarter, not like all the way to flat, but like maybe like a, I don't know, like a eighth, a sixth, whatever, of this wheel, and you're going to want to jump while holding right. You're going to be holding right the whole time. So you start holding right when you hit the wall. The spring will push you up to here, bounce you up here. You'll hold right onto this wheel. You'll just wait, and then you'll jump, and you'll hit this spring. It's fine if you miss it. There's another spring over there, and you could just jump back on this one to get up. But you're going to need to hit one of these springs. But if you hit this spring right, what will happen is you'll just clear this whole area. You want to brake here, because you do not want to fall down that hole. It's going to take you maybe 8 seconds, I can't say. It's going to take you a while to get back to where you need to be. If you want to slow down to jump here, and then just quickly brake and then jump up here. And jumping off these wheels is trickier than it seems. As a beginner, you're probably going to do a full rotation, and when you do a rotation on these wheels, they might not keep you on them. You might just be pushed off like the left. Just jump back on. So you jump here, and then jump here. Here you're going to do a peel out and then a jump off the ramp. And then you're going to land here. And then here we're going to do another peel out. It's that long ceiling section. You don't need to worry about anything. There is going to be one jump you just have to look out for. I'll give you a visual cue, but we'll just get past this whole section. And then once you see the second like purple block here with the purple little bars, or the tube, I guess, whichever one of these parts of this whole area is basically your visual cue. And I mean, you'll see this coming, but just when you see it, you'll know it's coming. So just jump. It's actually better to jump later, as late as you can, but it's fine if you just jump on that and then just slow down. But it's easier if you jump later. You'll clear that second ceiling, and that will give you more time to slow down for this piston. And this is where we do the piston jump. Now this is actually pretty dang tricky. I'm still having trouble with it. Actually, like the easier way is to spin dash, because when you peel out, you know, you're obviously moving faster, but a spin dash will be slower and you'll have more time to start it. But if you're going to do a spin dash, you want to use the other piston because you won't cover the distance with this. This is just closer, which is why I peel out here. So you'll start a peel out and actually miss it in this run. And I let go too early. There's a cue with this piston which will show. So they reach their top position basically flush with the top of the checkpoint here. But that's not when they launch you. They don't launch you when they reach all the way up here. They'll actually launch you like more here. So I fought here, and then I just redo it here. And so I'm gonna try it again. And I pause buffer this. So this is a little annoying, this situation here. But basically, this is probably not the best, but this is my visual cue. You see like these little, these trapezoids on the piston here on the side. When the top line of this is over the halfway mark, not mark, but the halfway point on this this graphic here. So like when it's above halfway of the circle, if you let go of your peel out, you'll be good. Any time before, and you won't be good. So I realized this. I had the peel out ready, and it's moving very quickly, so it's kind of hard to get. So what I do is I pause buffer, and what I'm thinking is like, okay, I have one chance of getting this, because these take like 4 seconds about to do, and you know, pace here. So it's important to get this right. Practice this a lot. You want to find a method that's easy for you to do, one that you can rely on, not one that your whole run depends on. So here in this situation, you know, I just pause, and then I decided I'll let go shortly after I let go pause, which is like completely like there's no logic to it, but it works out. So that'll just send you up here, and if you peel out from the first piston, it'll land you here. The second piston will land you close here. So what you'll do is you'll just stop yourself and then peel out one more time, and then you'll just get to the end. So actually a good time, like a perfect piston jump, is going to be like 27 seconds, or 26 even. Sub 30 is a really good stage here. But you're probably going to be looking at like anything sub 40. Everything up to that point should be fairly easy for you. It's just a piston jump, which is the hardest part of Metallic. Well, hardest part of Metallic Menace 2 and 1, I'd say. Well, it depends on how well you know 1. But anyway, that's not too relevant. So this is the final level, and the final boss is at the end of this. Fortunately, it's Sonic CD, so the boss is not that hard. The stage is going to be very annoying for you as a beginner. Okay, so what we're going to do here, actually, let me just change the music real quick. But what we're going to do here is we're going to start with a peel out, but we're going to like immediately kill it. By which I mean we're going to break in the air, and we're going to do a jump. So it's going to be kind of a bunch of movements kind of quickly. It's not going to be too complicated, but as a beginner you just want to do that. You can like spin dash and jump, but you don't have a lot of room. You can just run and go through this area. You probably want to do that. But the fastest movement is peeling out and then doing a bunch of jumps. So you peel out, and then you'll stop, and then you'll break here, and then you'll jump while holding left. Now here is an important bounce coming up. This invincibility box, which you're gonna need and you want to keep. So like we've had speed shoes and we wanted to keep them throughout most of the stages. This is one of the few times, like Title Tempest 3, where we're going to need the invincibility box to stay with us. So what you want to do is you want to bounce off of it. You want to not really hit the edge here. It's okay if you do, but you just don't want to fall down here. If you do fall down there, there's like a ramp, just peel out and jump up. You might have to land on the spikes and take some damage, but it's okay. But on faster paced runs, it's like pretty, it bites. It's still not the worst type of time loss. So anyway, you're gonna bounce off that. And if you do this whole segment fast enough, you can actually land on the spring and immediately be launched straight up. But here, most of the time, you're gonna have to wait for it to just go around, like wrap around its cycle. And if you're doing actually the widescreen version, it's gonna actually be in a better position for you, more likely. But anyway, so you're just gonna land here. You want to move around, and this is a breakable bridge. So you want to break the part that's closest to where you're going to be. So that means the left part here. So just stay on the left side. It'll break apart like that. Stop here. Peel out off of that. And we're going to do a jump. And pretty much anywhere here underneath these saw blades. And we're going to jump over this whole segment here. Now once you get into this room, which is called the pit, because it's a pit of death, and it's very frustrating. But you'll just want to, if you do this whole setup right, if you do everything up until here in just one go, which is not that hard, even including missing the perfect unicycle, perfect spring, you'll be fine. So just air brake a little, and you'll land on this platform here. And just moonwalk here, or just hold right, You just want to make sure you have control of yourself. Even with a little bit of speed, you'll go over these gaps. You will go over these gaps. Don't worry about it. Just don't dead stop yourself. But make sure that once you get into this room, you are perfectly trying to control your movement and to stay on this floor, this layer, this level of platforms. This is very important, because anything else is going to ruin your day. It's going to be like getting hit by a ball in Collision Chaos 3. It's just going to mess everything up, and you're going to be like scrambling to regain control of the run and of Sonic so that you get through. So basically, you just wait here, and you're going to see these spinning, and then these spinning, and by that time the piston's going to start moving up this gate here, and you'll have enough time to jump before this is done spinning, or before it starts spinning, and even before this starts raising. You'll actually be able to easily just jump here. So remember, the main set's gonna spin, these two are gonna spin, and when these two spin, jump. Just get ready and just jump. Now the problem with this part, well, it's very simple. Once you get here, you're safe basically. There's a few other things to talk about, of course, but let me actually switch to a map of this stage, because I'll show you how bad the pit is. It's pretty bad. So here's the stage up until there. By the way, if you do go down here, like I was mentioning, you want to spin dash or peel out or whatever you can do to get back up, because going here, it's that annoying kind of like ceiling puzzle from Metallic Menace 2 that you completely avoided, and you want to avoid it here as well, because it just takes way too much time. Now, when you drop here in this pit area, this is a trouble. If you fall, this whole set's going to rotate at once. It's going to be like, let's do this. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is also going to be in the same cycle. And so it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of spinning. So when you fall, if you fall from here, you're not going to be able to rely on that. That might be 2. I'm not actually completely sure. Who knows? Expertise. Anyway, what you want to do is you fall, you want to land on this spring. These are also crumbling bridges. There's more of it, but it's not something you want to rely on, because you might just like stop too long, or you get stuck for whatever reason and you'll just fall. So just land on the spring. I guess I should show how this pit works too. You don't want to hit this spring. You might be like, oh, I'll just stay right. This will send you here, which will send you here, which will send you back down. And that is not actually helpful, because you will actually lose your control. You don't know when these are spinning. You're going to end up maybe landing here. And if these are spinning, these will all be spinning, and you'll just fall to your death, and there's nothing you can do. Similarly, you don't really want to say if you fall from here to like just move to the left. You basically, what you want to do is you just want to use this red spring and either jump on 3 or 4 depending on which one's spinning. And what will happen is when you jump on this spring or bounce off this spring, every time you go up and down, the same set of platforms are going to be spinning. So if the third set is spinning, when you fall down to the spring and go back up again, the third set will be spinning again. It's perfect. It will happen like that all the time. So what you want to do is you want to land on the other one, like on 4. I wouldn't recommend 2, but you can do it. So like the spring is basically set up for this, so just land on 3 or 4 depending on which one isn't spinning. Of course, if you land on 4 while 3 is spinning, you might just fall if you're not fast enough to jump. Or you might misgauge the time, maybe it's in between the cycles. It's just something you're going to have to figure out. So I'll just explain the pit. I'll show the pit again. But let's get back to the video. So what you want to do here is you want to hit this shield box. You don't actually have to, it's just helpful. As a beginner especially, an easy way of doing that is just jumping and hitting this part, hitting the spring, the shield box. And you can either stop and like spin dash or peel out here, but it's really not that long of a corridor. You will not want to actually go through the spinning device. It'll just send you into the background here, and there's nothing back there you want. You will be stuck. You'll have to go back in the foreground again if that happens. The reason why I mention that is this moving spike wall. If you don't have a shield, or if you don't have invincibility at this point, you're going to want to damage boost into it, by which I mean take damage and then jump back through it. The casual intention is that you wait for it to move, like you'll go in the background, you wait for it to move, you go back in the foreground and avoid it. But like if you have rings or a shield, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't take too long if you don't have invincibility. This isn't why we have invincibility, it's coming up. So this is the place. This is the bug fight. This is the true final boss. Sort of, not really. So it's gonna be random where the positions are for the first bug and the second two bugs. So just wherever it is, wherever it's moving, just get ready to jump to that position. And what you want to do is you want to have enough invincibility. Let me just quickly kill the music here, and then you can hear this invincibility. Let me just go back a little bit, because you want to get used to the invincibility being in a certain audio cue. Alright, let's get a little bit. So as the countdown begins, you can still get the second cycle, because it's gonna last even after the jingle ends. And so it's not really lucky. More often than not, the two bugs are gonna be close to each other in the second phase. But if they're in different positions, you might be able to go from one to the other, like connect a jump between them. But more often than not, you won't be able to do it, and you just won't have the right timing to even try. You would be able to just get one, in which case it's unfortunate, but you do have to just wait and then set up the next jump. But you want to make sure you get that third cycle. It's just something that's kind of random. It's nothing you can do about it. It's one of, if not the most random parts of the game. Even in Chaos 3, you can sort of know the timing of when he launches the balls at you, and it might be based off timer. I'm not entirely sure how this RNG, the pseudo RNG, is seeded, but it's just something that will happen. So that's what happens. I guess I'll also show how to defeat them, how to blow them up if you don't have invincibility. So you'll go here, and then it'll start to peel out. So once this gate opens, you want to wait just a little bit. Whoops. You can actually run over the gate if it's just like a, maybe like a 5-10 pixels above the floor. And you'll just go here, and this is the final boss. Now there's 4 phases, 4 cycles of this fight. 4 attack patterns, basically, 4 attack cycles. And the most important one is the first one, naturally. So here's the last and most critical trick of the game, and it's called double hit. Fortunately, it's easier as Sonic than Tails, so that's to your advantage. But basically, you want to line up yourself up here. You want to line yourself up here with this wall in the background, basically. It's just like this long line here, so just lines the front of Sonic's face right here, and you'll be good. Horizontally speaking. So Robotnik's gonna move left and right, and then he's gonna drop down. So Sonic's, like, the front of Sonic's face will seem to be like cut, but because of hitboxes, you're safe. Now, the first hit is gonna be as soon as he connects to the floor. You do actually have a tiny bit of time to wait. You know, it's a speedrun, so why wait? But if you wait too long, he's gonna start rolling on the ground, and you won't be able to do double hit that way. So you get the first hint in. Okay. Now there's gonna be a second visual cue, and I use the one based off the background. So basically, when this line here, you see like that line that we were looking at before, once the bottom of the sphere here clears this line, once like, you know, it's turning around horizontally, you'll be able to see it better, but there's gonna be like a horizontal line here. Once the sphere clears that line, jump. Just jump straight up, don't do any movement, just jump. And then you'll hit it, and you'll get the two hits in. You see it's like a line here. So you got this vertical line to set up horizontally, and this line to set up the second jump. Now there's another visual cue that Mad Taz uses, and it's basically when the yellow tab starts getting hidden by the ceiling here. So once it starts getting hidden, then you jump. And you have a little bit more leeway than Tails does, so it's not as precise. But anyway, you want those two hits in because this whole cycle takes 10 seconds. Anyway, so he's going to move back and forth, and in this pattern, he's going to just launch them. Just stay underneath them, because he's not. If these things just drop down vertically, they won't land on him. You're safe. You're just safe. But to get an early third hit, you want to just take damage boost. You want to damage boost, basically. You want to take damage, lose your shield, lose some rings, and then wait just a little bit, and then just jump. I don't actually have a cue for it. It just seems pretty obvious. Just wait just a little bit, and then jump, and you'll just barely get that last hit in. If you don't do that, what you can do is just move to the right, so he moves to the right, and then just go around and hit him. It's not that much slower, so don't worry about it if you don't get it. Now for the last hit, or the second to last attack, he's just going to launch this from the side. Now, it's actually fastest to just be directly underneath him, because if you're to the sides here, it's going to go farther across the screen to land. So just jump over that. And this is his last attack here. Now, based off where you are, if you're on the left or right side of the screen, is where he's going to go at the end. It doesn't really matter, but it's just something that you can know, that you should know. So I'm on the left side, the left half of the screen, if just by a little bit. And since I'm on the left, he's going to move to the right side. If I was on the right, he would actually go back left. And so what you do here is you just damage boost again. It's going to be 4 swipes. Let's just reverse a little bit so you can see what I mean. Right, so he's going to do 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think I may have missed some frames there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 including when he hits the edge here. Or 3 after he moves. So then you get pretty much launched exactly where you need to be. It'll spin one more time when he hits the edge, and then he'll drop down. So just jump and hit him. There is another way of doing this that's safer for beginners. If you just make him go on the left side of the screen, when he drops down, if you're on the leftmost side of the screen and jump, you will be completely safe. And then you beat him. You beat the game. Congratulations. Now remember, up until now you've been only adding minute and seconds to your IGT. This is the only time you add the centiseconds. So remember that. It's very important that you do that, because it's centiseconds and we need to be precise. But actually, just please do it. And for RTA, basically once you get that last hit in, that's when it's done. Okay, and then there's a beautiful ending. Okay, so let's show the stage. Okay, so I went for the perfect spring, but I didn't get it. Let's get out of this part. So that's how you get out of that part. And oh, by the way, where you want to jump is basically where this light is, this lowest light. That's how you. That's right under the hole in the ceiling. Just go straight up. Hold left. Oh wait, what am I doing? What? What? Okay, so. Right. It's you see it's a left section here, which is what's constantly in pattern as I'm bouncing on this spring. You see, it doesn't change. So what do? Well, just land here. And if you just jump straight up, you'll be able to skip this cycle underneath you. Now, if you go this way, this is what's going to happen. And say if I can go to right, you'll land like that. If I hold right here, you'll maybe be able to make that. I would not count on it though. Okay, so that I was right. That lower platform is connected to this one. They're all one set. Oh shit. What else? Oh, right, the bugs. So, let's do that to get through if you don't have invincibility. Now, so when they spawn, let's see if he gets a higher position. See, as you can see, the timing for this is actually pretty precise. You can't just go for it. I mean, sometimes you can, but you'll miss them a lot. So you want to hit them exactly after they shoot their laser. So, and to hit them, when they're up in this high position, you actually want to hit them around, like, the edge here. On their very edges. It's actually probably the most precise attack in this game. Trying to get another high position. Okay, I'm messing it up. There we go. So it's pretty dang precise. You have to avoid the laser while just still getting as close as possible. So you can just spin dash and jump if you need a ring. Here's a dramatic final boss. I'm actually not gonna get the double hit. I will get the first one. Actually no, I'll just show you what happens. So this is just annoying. You can just hit him from the side if you want. But it's just, there's not much point. Alright, I messed that up. What I meant to do was get him to land on the left side. So he's gonna do this whole shindig again. Because he should be over here. So of course you can just hit him in any of these positions. You shouldn't be seeing this attack pattern. Or any of these, honestly. Here, come on, man. I've actually not seen this because I've been avoiding it. So I guess this is it. So it should go to the left there. And like this, you just jump here and you'll be safe. And, yep. That was a nice botch there. But you just want to lead him around in that attack. So that takes slightly longer. It's going to take the longer way. Like, you think, oh, well, if it's here, it's just going to be around the edge. No, it's going to take the longer way. So again, for this, you can just do that. Actually, that didn't work too well, did it? But it does work on the second hit. Anyway, that's the game. And so for this stage, for Metallic Madness 3, you want like a good time, well, 114, or less, maybe like 113, if you get the perfect spring. but you're probably going to be looking for like a 116, maybe 118, and for a beginner, like somewhere like 120 something, maybe 130, 1 minute 30. Okay, and that's Metallic Madness and all of the stages for Sonic CD 2011. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you got everything you needed to know. It's overall not that hard of a speedrun to learn. It's a very fun game, and I definitely recommend playing it out. So, see you in the leaderboards. Community. Raise me. Alright, peace.